Well, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to this week's recap of our reading. This week we read chapters 6 through 8 from our visual storytelling book by Brian Arnold and Brendan Eddy. We start with chapter 6, which had to do with establishing a story's space and time. It was teaching us all about do it 2-dimensional and 3-dimensional, dealing with height, width, and depth. And it also had to do with timing, where we were talking about frame, shot, story, and most of all, my favorite one, transition. How to go from one scene to another. Speaking of transitions, let's head it on over to some scenes from our movie clip that had to do with Iraq and fragments. So, here's a recap. Now that we have seen Chapter 6 vocab in use, we move on to Chapter 7. Chapter 7 had to do with composition and line orientation, dealing with horizontal, vertical, diagonal, and the way they are used. I hope you enjoy this segments that help define and show the words in action. And our final chapter we had this evening, or this week, was Chapter 8, which had to do with 3-dimensional space. More importantly, it also had a bunch of terminology that had to do with camera shots along with camera angles. Well, I hope you enjoy this final clip, and hope you have a wonderful weekend, what's left of it for everybody.